Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to World of Tanks Blitz. We're going to be taking a look at one of the new French tank destroyers. And this time we're going to be taking a look at the Renault FTAC, which is of course the Tier 2 French tank destroyer, which will be the first French tank destroyer that you unlock, obviously. So, what is this tank? Well, basically it's a Renault FT, but with the turret chopped off, this very, very thin armoured gun shield placed around it, and a choice of guns to mount inside of it. Now, as you can see, this is the 25mm that has been mounted in the tank right now. And I will get onto the reason why I have left it stuck in the tank rather than mounting the 47. So we'll start off here at 4% protection, 31% firepower, 42% shot effectiveness, and 37% maneuverability. Now, of course, that will all change if you mount the 47mm SAL Mil 1937, which is, of course, the 47mm. Maneuverability goes down by 1, shot effectiveness goes up by 13, firepower goes down by 4. And, well, 4% protection obviously is not great. It's better than the universal carrier at 1%, but not as high as, for example, the Panzer II with 9%, or even the Micro Mouse with 12%. So, yeah, it does not have a lot of protection, but, well, it's on par with the Hargo, so you can see how thin that armor is. And, well, yeah, the armor is not great at all. Hull armor is only 16 all around the tank. The gun shield is, I think, probably even less than 12mm. Or 16 rather. It may be on par, it may be slightly less, I'm not too sure. But either way, you will not bounce a lot of things in this tank. You can angle as much as you want, but the thinness of this armor, all you need is something that's, let's think, 16, 32, 48. All you need is something that's about 50mm or larger in caliber, and they'll overmatch your armor. Just straight up. So something like the universal carrier, if it's mounting one of the 6-pounders, that'll overmatch it. Anything mounting the 57 derp gun, such as the Hargo, that'll overmatch it. And so, yeah, it's just not well armored at all. And as for maneuverability, well, it's a 4.6 ton tank, but it only has a 46 horsepower engine, which means it has got very low power to weight. It only has a 25 kilometer per hour speed limit. It has an alright traverse speed of 44 degrees per second, 44.5 degrees per second, but still, things can easily get around you, such as a Tetrarch. That will easily just sort of get around your flank very, very easily. So, yeah, the maneuverability is alright. It doesn't go very fast, however, but the traverse speed is at least good. As for the engine, here's the engine that it gets, a Renault M26/27, which has got 46.4 horsepower, obviously. This is modified with better fuel, so standard fuel, so it's got that modification. Chance of fire and impact as well, 20, so yeah, it's alright. As for the load limit, 4.89 tons, which is not a lot to play around with actually, only a couple of tons, so you've got to be careful of that weight limit, but still, 44.5 degrees per second reverse, that's decent. And now we come to the choice of guns, and first up we'll look at this, which is technically the better gun. It's a Tier 3 gun. It's a 47mm SAL Mil 1937. It has a 17.53 rate of fire, rounds per minute, which is pretty good. It's got very good penetration, 66mm of average pen at Tier 2. That's quite high. 110 with APCR. A 24 with high explosive, so yeah, pretty terrible. But it's got fairly decent damage, 60 or 50 with APCR due to the premium ammo nerf that they did. 75 with high explosives, so it's got good, good average pen. As for dispersion, 0.35 dispersion, which is not as accurate, but it's still fairly accurate. 4.8 second aim time, which is pretty fast aim time, and that is a gun which you can choose to mount. But honestly, the first gun is just so much more fun. So you will all first up remember this, which is the 25mm 1934 model cannon. Recursi, or however the French pronounce it. And as you will note, this has got 6 shells in the magazine with a 1 second reload time and a 7.73 total magazine time. And we'll all be used to, click once, 1 shot fires, click once, 1 shot fires. Well, it's got a version of that on the Renault FT. On the Renault FT, as you can see, it's got 46mm of average pen. On the FTAC, it has 12 shells in the magazine. Now, first start, I was thinking, okay, so you're going to click once and fire once 12 times. No. It's a lot different to doing that. When you actually get into the game, you will notice you have only got 4 little shell icons, so it fires them in bursts, obviously. It fires them in 3-round bursts for a total of 4 times to make it up to a 12 shells in the magazine. It has 0.34 shell reload time, which is pretty quick. Total magazine time of just over 6 seconds, which is also a pretty quick magazine reload time for the amount of damage that you can output. The average pen goes up slightly more by 4, up to 50mm with AP, 75 with APCR. Obviously no high explosive, it's too small to actually be worthwhile shooting high explosive. It would have 0 pen and would do nothing. So yeah, average pen, very good, 50, and being a stock gun as well, everyone can have this on their tank at any given moment. So yeah, that's very good stock average pen. It only does 12 average damage or 10 with APCR, but the dispersion is 0.41, which is well, it's pretty bad, honestly. That's 122mm dispersion. But the aim time is only 4 seconds, which means that as you're firing off these 4-round bursts, you will actually be getting more accurate every time you fire because it's still aiming. So, yeah, and the shells do tend to sort of fly everywhere, but if you get a close enough distance, or even at longer ranges actually, they can fly true, and you can rip things to shreds. 6-second total magazine time, 12 shots for 12 damage, that's up to 144 damage every, let's think, every about 3 seconds. Every 3 seconds, over that span of 3 seconds, you can do up to 144 average damage. Then you got another 6 seconds to reload, and then you go off again. That's far and away better than the gun which is mounted on the D2, for example, which has got an 8.81 second reload time, only has 6 shells, slightly less pen, does more damage, I'll admit. This thing does only do 12 damage. It does not have the same sort of alpha damage as the D1's gun, but it makes up for it in the amount of shells it can output. For example, the thing which this is most deadly to lies in the British tree, and it's the medium 2. It will tear the medium 2 to shreds, honestly. It will tear the Vickers medium to shreds. It does. It only has 8mm of frontal armour. It has 8mm all-round armour on this thing. And it's not like you can miss it. This is a huge target, and the FTAC will just tear it to shreds. It also tears up medium 2s pretty good as well. Well, T2 mediums rather. It tears apart these things pretty easily as well. 22 armor all round, up to 25 on the turret. Yes, it tears them to pieces. You can even pierce the frontal armor of a T18 with this gun. A 51 frontal hull, and only in certain places it will easily get through the front of T18s if you're just careful aim. And the gun is just so ridiculous. It's just such a ridiculous thing. Just set up, and then it's like just having an MG42 surveying the battlefield. It's just like, there's a tank. Just machine gun them to death with your little rounds. It's just like setting up and having just a kill zone just in front of your tank. Unfortunately, it's not all good. As you can see, there's the bottom of the gun, there's the bottom of the at gun elevation, so the gun depression is very bad. It is just honestly, you hit any bump, your gun goes way up in the air and you can't bring it down because it's got very low gun depression. Gun elevation is decent. The gun actual arc isn't that great, unfortunately. As you can see, that's a pretty small slit, unlike the universal carrier, which has got sort of that, sort of that in front of it. The FTAC is a more cone. But yeah, as for ammunition, you can spray and pray as much as you want. You carry 400 rounds of ammunition in this little in this little gem that Wargaming's given us. You carry enough rounds to get through an entire World War II battle. You could get through the entirety of World War II and I with the amount of ammunition you carry. So yeah, you can spray and pray as much as you want. I would suggest carrying around a fair amount of APCR. As you can see, I've mounted 36. May go up. That you'll burn through that very easily. You burn through armor piercing like it's going out of fashion. So yeah. As for provisions, you've of course got your protective kit, 15% protection accrued from injuries, 10% speed and module repair, 20% fire protection, and 10% ammo and fuel tank durability. You can go ahead and mount some of them if you want. Then you've got canned pate, 3% crew mastery, which of course will up the traverse speed, increase the rate of fire to 93 rounds a minute. Get down that dispersion slightly, which is always nice. Then you got standard fuel, 3% engine power and turret traverse. Not that you really have a turret, but I mean the boost to traverse speed is always welcome, plus the slight boost to engine power. As for consumables, you got your standard repair, first aid, fire, then you got engine power boost, 20% engine power for 15 seconds. No adrenaline, being a magazine-fed weapon, it doesn't really benefit from having adrenaline, so yeah, no adrenaline for you. Then you got the multi-purpose restoration pack, which is these three things rolled into one. So yeah, go ahead and mount some of them if you want. As for camouflage, well, it's technically on the hull of a World War I tank, and I think the Bastille war paint just reminds me so much of the French World War I tank camouflage. And it does look good on French tanks, I do have to say. It looks the best. Bastille looks the best on French tanks. Obviously, the Bastille is, French, so no surprise there. The Dynamo also looks alright, but I think Bastille just works better because it's technically a World War I tank, but yeah. As for the crew, of course, can't say much. Blitz crews work differently, but you can train all your tank destroyer things on that. One good battle, and I got my crew from 50 to 100, straight up. Just zap, one battle, done, max crew. So yeah, as for equipment, obviously improve vents. You only get 2 extra pen with calibrated shells, so definitely go with improved vents for better rate of fire, obviously better traverse speed, better aim time, better accuracy, all of that. That's always useful. Protected modules, then to increase the which is 10% to protection of engine, transmission, and ammo rack, and 10% to suspension and fuel tank durability. So yeah, put some of them on. Your choice of coated optics or camo-net. Honestly, I think with the fragility of this thing, it only has 270 HP, which is less than the universal carrier. So yeah, it isn't very survivable. Combining that with the only 16mm of hull armor, well, armor all round even, so you're not likely to bounce things, so any shot that hits you generally going to penetrate and do damage. So yeah, camo-net, maybe not a bad idea. Then I would say not enhanced gun lane drive. You don't really need enhanced gun lane drive. 4-second aim time is a very good aim time. So I would say supercharge for the penetration decrease with distance buff. That's always going to be useful. Let's unlock it. Why not? We have the spare parts. So yeah, this thing's going to turn into a monster. So yeah, you got supercharge. Don't go with enhanced armor, go with the improved assembly, better HP, 285. That's going to give you much more survivability. Then I would say possibly improved control. The better engine power will of course benefit your acceleration slightly, but well, it's your choice, I suppose. I suppose actually probably go with an engine accelerator to reach your top speed quicker, because you know it's always good to be quick off the mark. Then I would say refined gun, get your aim time down to, or get your accuracy down to 0.39, so at least it's in the 0.3s, not in the 0.4s. Because once again, you don't really need vertical stabilizers for the better aim time. Just go with refined gun. And then your choice of enhanced tracks or toolbox, either one's good, and then your choice of whatever the hell those two things are. So that is the Renault FTAC, a little monster at tier 2. It's got the craziest gun at tier 2, honestly. The 3-round burst is just a joy to have fun with. Well, it's a joy to use. It's fantastically good fun with the 3-round burst. Getting into a position and just mowing down things in front of your gun, just a cone of death and lead heading towards the enemy tanks is just a blast to have fun with. And yeah, it's a very nice all-round tank destroyer. So yeah, thank you for watching and goodbye.